What's going on, sports card hobby friends? Another day, another sports card video. We've got some updates on the Panini versus Fanatics antitrust case. A little twists and turns and a timeline, which actually might shock you. Before I get started, a couple of quick channel announcements. We are broadening out our relationship with SlabMags. For those of you that have been buying these, we've been selling a ton of these through the affiliate link. The big thing for me with SlabMags, obviously the really sturdy production of these suckers, but also the UV protection for autographs. So obviously you don't want the surface to fade, but if you have autographs that are sitting in slabs, no guarantee of UV protection, even just sitting in the slab. So the SlabMag gives that extra protection for the cards, kind of those big cards. Not necessarily every card in the collection, but maybe you've got 5 to 10, maybe you've got 20 cards. You're like, man, I want to keep these suckers safe. Your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, they're messing around. They drop it on the ground, it cracks. What, you got to send it back to the company? Who wants to do that? Nobody. So we'll be talking more about SlabMags here in the coming days. I'm excited to announce. Also, huge shout out to today's video sponsor, our friends at COMC.com, your home for buying, selling, and flipping all the hottest trading cards. The consignment marketplace, now home to 32 million plus trading cards from baseball's biggest stars like Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, and Mookie Betts to Marvel favorites like Spider-Man, Thor, and Captain America. COMC has something for every type of collector, so make sure to visit COMC.com today to build out your collection with your favorite cards. It's just a clickety-click of a button. You can buy and sell. Very easy to navigate, COMC.com. All right, friends, our favorite hobby attorney has chimed in with an update on the antitrust case. Now, there's so many different lawsuits now, I'm actually losing track of all of them between Panini and Fanatics. Of course, you've got the Panini employees that left thing. That's going on. The WWE terminated their agreement with Panini to go with Fanatics. And of course, they tried to file something that was rejected. There was a motion to kind of like immediately stop Panini from making wrestling cards. That was denied. And now we've got the layout here. Paul lays this out, kind of a timeline for us for the Panini versus Fanatics antitrust case. And looking at this timeline, this looks to me like this is not a ploy by Panini to get some sort of a favorable buyout or something from Fanatics. This looks like an absolute war if you look at this, if they go through with this. So I'm just going to touch on it. I'll put a picture up on the screen, but you've got deadline for initial disclosures is next month. Okay, cool. That's near. Couple of deadlines coming up in January 2024. No big deal. But then the next deadlines on this list are October of 2024. So between January of 2024 all the way through almost to the end of 2024, which is a year from now, you've got the next set of deadlines. Guys, we're not even at trial yet. We're not at trial yet. Pre-trial conference, December 2025. Stranger Things Season 5 will be out before this. I'm probably jinxing myself. Of course, it's taking forever for them to get everything going with the actor strikes and the studios not agreeing and all that. The pre-trial conference for this thing, December of 2025, trial term starts, I suppose. I guess this means the trial could start January 2026. It is October of 2023 right now. January of 2026. Isn't this basically when the licenses are up in the first place? Isn't this when Fanatics was taking over anyway? So then it makes me wonder, like, if you're Fanatics, like, what's the point? Unless I guess they just want to start making trading cards now, and so this allows both companies to kind of put out, I hate to say it, but it's probably going to be like half-assed cards, from each company, because neither one of them really kind of has full control, or there's still the lawsuits all making everything weird. Of course, who does it affect the most? It affects us hobbyists the most, because it's like, man, what are we buying? If you're looking at new product for a Wembanyama or some of these guys, I guess if you're just collecting, you don't care about money is no object to you, and you can just spend whatever, then maybe you're just buying all these things. But now I'm thinking, okay, if you've got Topps making, Wemby autos, and then you've also got Panini, you've got like the double print run thing happening. Just think of the amount of cards that are going to be out for this guy, and just any rookies here over the next couple of years. It was already trending upward as far as print runs and different parallels and things. And now think about it. Now you're going to have probably Topps football cards will come, Topps basketball. Everyone's like, yes, Topps Chrome basketball. But then it's thrown in with Panini. I mean, it's going to be a mess trying to figure out what is what. What are the important rookie cards? Everybody's going to be speculating on that. Who the hell knows? Who knows what's going to be the important rookie card for any of these guys? They're going to have so many cards, so much supply, which again, if you are just a collector and you're just wanting to have those cards and cool looking cards and all that, then fantastic. I guess that works out. Although, like I said, I don't think it's going to be, I think it's going to be kind of like, you know, each company is giving you kind of like an okay product, you know, so I don't know if that's necessarily great. But man, we have got a solid 3 years of trial here ahead of us from what this looks like. 2.5 years of back and forth and not knowing what's going on. Unless, of course, this gets cut short, they settle out and they make some sort of agreement. That's a long time to pay attorneys too, man. And I understand Fanatics has extremely deep pockets. Panini, it's kind of up in the air. Like, does Panini have deep pockets? Do they not have deep pockets? There's one side that's like, absolutely not. They're in trouble. They're financially in trouble. There's another side that's like, hey, this is a multi-billion-dollar company. They've got all the money in the world to pay attorneys. They just paid what, Wildcard or one of these companies, a $25 million settlement for some sort of a design that they took anyway. So they paid out a huge settlement, but 2.5 years of expensive attorneys on this thing. It's going to cost these companies a small fortune to fight this battle. And especially Panini's at a disadvantage anyway, because you've got the players associations that already want to work with Fanatics. They're the ones, you know, that are really at a disadvantage. But I guess if I'm thinking about it from Panini's standpoint, what is the end game? Because if the end game is you're just trying to stop Fanatics, then I guess, but I mean, the leagues don't necessarily want to work with Panini. They want to kind of move over to Fanatics because Fanatics is tied in the leagues as well as now the players associations, starting at least in a couple of years. They're trying to start sooner, obviously. But even if we kind of look outside the bigger picture, really the leagues and the players associations want to work with eventually Fanatics, and some of them now, but that's already in place. That deal's already been put in place for those licenses to start in a couple of years. So if you're Panini and you win this thing, what are you winning? You know, I guess maybe you win the antitrust and then Fanatics lose it. But like, how does that work? If the licensor, you know, the leagues, they want to go with a certain company, are they then forced to stay with a Panini if Panini wins? I'm just confused, I guess, as to what the potential end game is, or if it's simply that Panini just wants to get better buyout. You know, they win the case and they're able to say Fanatics, hey, you need to give us, you know, huge money. Basically, it just gives them leverage to sell off these pieces of the business. I don't know. I'm not an attorney. I don't really understand it, but I'm trying to read between the lines to figure this out. But it seems just incredibly confusing as to the overall strategy from Panini, really kind of from both sides, to be honest. So what do you all think? Are we ever going to see the end to the war that is Panini versus Fanatics and Fanatics versus Panini? They got lawsuits against each other. And what does it mean for the hobby as a whole? Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.